All right, Brennan Taylor here, True School Sports. I'm with the IBF featherweight champion, Albuquerque's very own, my main man, 50 grand, Angelo Leo. Angelo, it's been a long time. Great to have you back on the channel.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Always good to be talking to you, BT. And yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, man, this your home, man. Like I feel like now, all the business get real hot, so now your name's starting to pop up a lot more. We'll get into that in a second, but I wanted to get your thoughts, Angelo, because one of the guys in your division, one of your contemporaries, Bruce Shushu Carrington, he had a fight
Mhm.
against a fighter you're very familiar with in Carlos Castro. And he wound up
Yeah,
stopping him in the ninth round. Just what were your overall thoughts on that performance from him?
I thought uh, I thought it was a good performance. I thought it was nothing too crazy though. Nothing that really stood out. He got the job done. Like I expected. I thought he was gonna. I thought Castro was gonna give him a run for his money, which he did. But at the end of the day, he got the knockout, and hats off to him. Hope he enjoys his victory and he keeps that belt warm.
Warm? What you mean? Like he called you out. He called you and everyone else out. What you
Mhm.
mean warm? You wanna elaborate on that?
So basically, I'm on the same type of time. I want those belts as well, and I'm trying to be undisputed as well. And he's in my way. Espinosa's in my way. Nick Ball's in my way. So they're just like little gnats that are flying around. I got to get them out the way.
I hear you. I hear you, Angelo. You're not really much of a talker, so I'm kind of like taken aback, by all this.
Hmm.
Like when you were watching the fight, because I know in the past
Yeah.
when Shushu normally calls people out, he normally
Hmm.
calls out Espinoza and Nick Ball because
Hmm.
those are the guys that have more promotion, right? I would say they have more
Yeah.
promotion than you. Your name isn't a name he hasn't said quite as much, although he said it here and there. But when he called you out this time, it was one of the first names out of his mouth. So what was your
Yeah.
reaction when Bruce Carrington called you out?
I just think that he got wind of why they're asking why he didn't call me out. He probably saw that, and people are probably telling him that he's scared and whatnot. Which I don't know is okay. It's okay if he's scared, but at the end of the day, we got to get it on. We got to get it on, and yeah.
So you say he's scared. That's a strong word, Angelo. I mean, he
I
fought
mean,
up. Go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, a lot of people when he knocked Carlos Castro out, I was live, and
Mhm.
they were saying things to me like, well, based on what I seen, BT Angelo can't really mess with Shushu because, the casual boxing fan might look at that fight and say, well, you know what, Bruce Carrington, he knocked out Carlos Castro, who's never been stopped. Carlos Castro had a close fight with Stephen Fulton that a lot of people thought he won, and then Stephen Fulton he
Mhm.
beat you, so they might play a triangle theory game with that. But what do you think about just that Shushu fight and all that stuff?
First and foremost, I think the triangle theory is it's just a theory, but it's been debunked many, many, many times. Um, so I think that is obsolete in this occasion. But I thought he did good against Castro. He did what he had to do. Castro, he put up a good fight. It was close. I actually had maybe Castro up a round or two,
Okay.
but you could see that he was slowing down. He was getting tired, and Shushu capitalized on that.
Okay, okay. I feel like if you guys do fight, that would probably be one of the biggest fights that you can make in American boxing because you had a fight against one of his old sparring partners where you knocked out Venado Lopez. It was a highlight reel knockout. He got a highlight reel knockout. Both you guys actually won your featherweight world title in your hometown.
Yeah.
You wanted in Albuquerque, he wanted in Brooklyn.
Mhm.
What do you think about that, Angelo? Like, talk about like the mindset that it takes to win a world title in your hometown because there's a lot of pressure that comes with fighting in your hometown.
Yeah. There's a lot of pressure, but at the same time, you, with that pressure, you rise to the occasion. And I see a lot of that in Shushu as well, is in myself. We're both very competitive, and we want to get that W. But the difference with me is I know a lot of, but they're very high on Shushu right now because he got that knockout. But at the end of the day, I'm a two division champion. Uh, I fought a former world champion in my last fight, so I'm the best featherweight in this division right now.
Mm,
You know, Espinosa, yeah, he won. He's been active, but he hasn't fought the competition that I've fought, and neither has Shushu. Shushu fought for a vacant world title, which I can't knock because I won a world title as well, a vacant world title. But at the end of the day, I'm a two division world champion, the only two division champion in this division right now.
okay, okay. I'm gonna push back a little bit, Angelo, because you said that you said particularly Rafael Espinoza hasn't fought the competition you fought. So people may hear that and say, well, Angelo, he beat Robeisy Ramirez, who was a two-time gold medalist. You know, you didn't beat nobody as good as Robeisy. What would you say to that?
Uh, Robeisy, yeah, that may be true. Robeisy was a world champion as well, but you can't take nothing from Tomoki Kameda, Stephen Fulton, all that. I got the experience under my belt.
Okay, and also in the Bernardo Lopez, you were a 4-1 underdog in that fight. I know
Mhm.
Bernardo and Robeisy at one point in time were looked at to be the best two featherweights in the world before all you guys started beating them for their belts. You believe that Bernardo is a higher quality one than Robeisy Ramirez?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. I think he has more defenses and more defenses in in like emphatic fashion, I guess you could say,
Yeah,
where he knocked out most of his defenses.
Josh Warrington, Mick Conlon, them guys. You know, he had to go on the road.
Right. The Japanese fighter, he stopped him.
Rhea Abbey.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
So I
Stop.
thought,
Go
so
ahead.
yeah, I think arguably he was the best featherweight in the division at the time I beat him.
Okay. Stylistically, do you feel like I know you never fought Robeisy, but do you feel like Venado was a tougher guy to beat stylistically in the ring than a guy like Robeisy?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. I think Vinalo's style's awkward, different with power, because he does got some power in his punch, but Robesi is a decorated amateur, decorated Olympian, but I think just he's lacking some qualities.
Okay, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Angelo, you seem like a little bit more on edge in this interview. I feel like you kind of have this aura of you're pissed off for greatness. Like you really because when I look at the
Mhm.
featherweight division, I look at Espinoza, right? He's got the big promotion
Mhm.
with the top rank in the Mexican fan base. Ball with Frank Warren in the UK. Shushu's
Yeah.
now on the scene because he just knocked out a guy at the Garden and he has Ring Magazine behind him. And you're kind of more the quiet guy. You don't really
Yeah.
talk a whole lot, and maybe in this day and
Mhm.
age, that might get you overlooked. Is my assessment fair on that?
I say so. I say so because I'm seeing the comments and all that. I see what the people are saying, and it doesn't get to me because at the end of the day, I know the fighter that I am. But it just feels me like it did, like it did it the first time against Vinalo, and I think I have to go back and remind people once again what kind of fighter I am, and they're gonna see. They're gonna see. I'm gonna make everyone eat their words when it comes down to it.
Hmm. A lot of people, apart from the Venado fight, may have not have seen your career because you've been a guy, Angelo. I got it in front of me. You fought in
Mhm.
8 states in 2 countries, right? You fought in Las
Mhm.
Vegas, California, Georgia, Connecticut, Texas, Florida, Japan, and Mexico. You fought any and everywhere, damn near. And with that, what I've noticed is that over the years, like you've had people invest in you to a point, with maybe other promotions who did a great job, Pro Boxers done a
Yeah.
great job, but not necessarily as like the star, so to speak, right? I
Mhm.
feel I'm speaking I'm from what I'm seeing, right? Because even when you
Yeah.
fought Kameda, that fight was at 3 in the morning here in the States.
Yeah.
Pro Box couldn't put it on their YouTube channel because they didn't have the rights for it. So a lot of people couldn't even really watch you fight for
Mhm.
your defend your title in Japan, even without jumping through hoops. So what I'm saying is, Angelo, um, what kind of fighter are you? A lot of people may have missed most of your career just because maybe you don't
Mhm.
talk so much. What kind of fighter are you?
I'm a elite fighter. I'm an elite fighter. I got all the goods. I'll beat anyone in the division. I'll give anyone problems, and I got heart, and I got a lot of heart. I'm intelligent in there. I'm a complete fighter, and 2026 and 2027. It's gonna be my two breakout years, and I'm gonna show and I'm gonna crack that pound for pound list.
Ooh, pound for pound.
Yeah,
Which fighter in the division you feel get you to that pound for pound?
I think either just winning another world title. I think winning
Any
another
of
world
them.
title. Yeah, any beating Shushu or beating Espinosa will put me there.
Okay, fair enough. And I hope this year the division can finally start unifying because the featherweight division, not just recently, but over this whole millennium, hasn't had a whole lot of unification fights. I mean, you have to go all the way back to I think Orlando Salido and I think Gamboa all the way back then for the last unification, and then before that was Marquez and Derek Gainer. So I think the next unification fight will only be the third unification fight for the featherweights of the new millennium. Fun fact.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. It's that. This is what I'm here for, because everyone is talking who's the best fighter in the division, and I think a unification would solidify who's the best fighter.
Okay, okay. Well, Angelo, getting specifically to you, right? Because when
Yeah.
I go live, everyone knows, we're pretty close. Everyone associates us together, and they keep asking me, BT, what's Angelo doing? When's his next fight? When's this? When's that? Now it's been interesting to follow from the in the news, right? Because initially there was a deal for Lorato Diamante for a voluntary. Then we heard things about Rai Salim. Then there's now talks about Espinoza unification fight. So Angelo, as much as you can, like inform your fans, like
Yeah.
what's next for you?
So basically, we're in the process of getting that all situated. I'm thinking either in March. We'll be back in the ring in March, but yeah, we had Lorato at first, then we had Rais Salim, but those seem to fall through. So we're just in the talks right now. In the talks of getting that next fight, but I should be fighting here pretty soon in the springtime.
Okay, okay. As far as like what I've noticed too, Angelo, is like all these guys, like Espinoza has gotten voluntaries.
Mhm.
Nick Ball's gotten voluntaries.
Mhm.
Shushu hasn't had a defense yet, so we'll see what happens. But like, have you ever had a voluntary? Because I don't think you've ever had a
I
voluntary
haven't had a
fight.
voluntary. I haven't had a voluntary. It's just straight to the mandatory. It's been a hard road, my whole career. So It's nothing new to me. I've had tough fights my whole career. I haven't had any like easy handouts or anything like that. Not that a voluntary is is uh is gonna be easy, but it's still someone that I get to choose.
Yeah, like for the most part, champions normally get a chance to build themselves because voluntaries are supposed to be so that champions can build themselves. Find their hometown, build their value. I just mentioned all those places you fought in. You're from New Mexico and you lived in Vegas for almost 10 years. You haven't
Yeah.
fought in Vegas in a while, and you fought in New Mexico against Venado, but you haven't gone back there since. So, has that been frustrating? Maybe not getting the opportunity to build your value in your home bases.
Yeah, I think so. I think fighting in Albuquerque is imperative, to marketing myself out there in my hometown. Uh, Also in Vegas because I have a big fan base out here in Vegas, and I would love to fight out here in Vegas. It's always been a dream of mine to fight Mandalay Bay, MGM Grand. I think a fight there against Espinosa, a fight there with Bruce Carrington would go crazy.
Yeah, I will. I mean, Bruce Carrington is great. I love that fight, but I really want the Espinoza fight because he seems to be the guy that the majority of boxing fans feel is the danger man of the division, the number one guy in the division. So if you beat him, especially because he's 6'1", he's it's hard to prepare for that. That puts you that will get you to where you want to go to, which is the pound for pound list.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I think that fight would do numbers for sure. Him being a Mexican, me being a Mexican American, we both got fan friendly styles, but I could also, end the fight with one punch. So that tells a lot.
Yeah, yeah. You've had a couple one punch knockouts. You had what a Venado, obviously, Mike
Mhm.
Plania, Caesar Rocky Juarez back in the day.
Mhm.
What was the other one? The Filipino guy too. I forgot his name right now.
Uh,
Was it Mark John Yap? Was it or
no, it was
Kavanaugh?
Glenn Porras.
Glenn Porras. There you go, Glenn
Yeah,
Porras. You got a lot of Filipinos. I get them all mixed up.
yeah, I did.
But you mentioned Mexican American, but Mexican versus British is a big one too, Angelo. You
Hmm.
got a British champion in your division, Nick Ball.
Yeah.
I know you've been asked that question many times because I've seen your interviews with the British channels and things like that. But
Hmm.
I mentioned you going to all these different places to go fight. Had you ever considered going to the UK to go maybe chase down Nick Ball if it came to that?
Mm, why do it in the UK? You know, why do it
Why?
in the U? Why couldn't we do it here? All those UK fighters are great and all that, but they never come over here to fight in the states. And he hasn't fought out here in the states. You know, Vegas, New York City, those are the meccas of boxing.
Hmm.
So I would like to fight him here.
Okay, because it's part of that too. It's part of why you're saying that too, is because you feel like you've already done enough traveling in your career. Maybe it's
Yeah.
time for some of the other guys to start traveling.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. And if you don't want to do it in my Vegas, where it basically my city, we could do it in New York,
Mm.
Madison Square Garden or Barclays Center, somewhere like that.
Yeah, you never fought in New York either, so that'd be a
I
different
haven't,
experience.
no. Yeah.
And the Brits got a long history of traveling to New York. I know like Prince Naseem Hamed had the great fight with Kevin Kelly there.
Right.
AJ versus Andy
Yeah.
Ruiz.
Prince Nassim was IBF champion.
Hmm.
Kevin Kelly was from New York.
Yep. Oh, shoo. The
Hey, hey,
parallels.
hey. I'm gonna just leave it there. I'm
Okay,
gonna
I
leave
like
that
that.
there.
I like that. I like that.
But
Um,
what about Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz?
I mentioned that.
Okay.
Mexican American versus a Brit.
We'll just leave that there.
The parallels they write themselves.
There you go.
Write themselves
History rewrites itself.
for sure, for sure. As far as like your division, that Nick Ball fight is coming up, Angelo, with Brandon Figueroa.
Mhm.
What do you think about that fight?
I got ball by decision.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
why?
I just think that balls just balls just got a little. He just got a little bit more I guess
Crash?
juice in the tank
Yeah.
compared to like Figueroa. I think Figueroa has had better days.
Okay, yeah. I remember
Mhm.
when you were like coming up, that was a fight that like people were talking about at one point. You and Brandon Figueroa.
Yeah, yeah, and it still is. It's still I wouldn't be opposed to it, but right now, it seems like everybody wants to see the unification. Everyone wants to see who's the top dog in the division. And right now, my focus is getting a unification fight.
Mm,
I'll probably have a fight in March against one of the top fighters in my organization.
the
But
IBF.
yeah, in IBF. But after that, I'm not opposed to a unification fight.
Okay, okay. I want to ask you about this, Angelo, because people say to me all the time that all you featherweight champions are the same. You guys just sit around and you don't unify, and you're just waiting for like a
Mhm.
big fat Naoya Inoue payday.
Yeah.
What do you say to people that say that?
Um, it goes deeper than that.
Mm,
It's more. There's a lot of things that that got to get handled,
mhm.
not just agreeing. Because I know all of us want to fight each other. I know Espinosa wants to unify. I know Shushu wants to unify. I want to ball. You want to unify. It's gonna happen though. It's gonna take some time.
Yeah, because would you say like part of it is that when you get the belt, right? The belt's a marketing tool, right?
Hmm.
And every time one of you guys defends, that builds your profile, and that makes more people aware of you guys, and these fights get bigger. And so, do you feel that like that's the approach that the Frank Warrens and the top ranks take when they try to build you guys up?
What was the question again?
The question is, okay, so the belts are a marketing tool, right?
Right.
It, you guys, none of you guys were really big names before you won the belts. I mean, you were champion at
Hmm.
122, but you weren't like you weren't there very long, and then you had
Hmm.
a layoff. So what I'm saying is, when you guys defend the belts, that enhances your profile. That makes the fights bigger. Would you say that that's how the promoters think about things?
For sure, for sure. I mean, the more defenses you get, the more notoriety you get, right?
Yep.
So I think defenses are very important because it keeps your name out there. You get the wins. Well, as long as you're winning, of course. But yeah, it's super important as far as keeping your name out there.
Okay. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
yeah, because
So
that's
I
why.
think that's another reason why a lot of people are overlooking me because I haven't fought in 10 months, or it's gonna be 10 months. So I just think that people haven't seen enough of me yet, which they
Okay.
will. But it's okay though because I'm all for being the underdog, or being overlooked.
You won two world titles as the betting underdog.
You see,
Because
that's
when you fought
that
Jermaine, you closed as plus money, and then when you fought Venado, you were like plus 400 something.
that's what happens when they underestimate me.
Hmm.
They underestimate the kid from Albuquerque. You see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, they underestimated Johnny Tapia and Danny Romero many times. So
Yeah.
yeah, um, I kind of want to switch gears a bit, Angelo, because with I know, and I mentioned him earlier, so I'm gonna ask you about him, the
Mhm.
monster, right? He's got the big fight in Japan with
Mhm.
Nakatani.
Yeah.
What do you think about that fight?
I like that fight. It's gonna be a good fight for the Japanese and for the whole boxing community. It's a great fight. I think, though, in a way, a little better in the mid range. So I think I have in a way by decision.
Decision?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did Junto's last fight against the Mexican Sebastian Hernandez Reyes, did it influence your perception at all? Like, do you see it as a more of a one-sided fight now, or how do you see that fight?
I just see, in a way, taking control of the mid range compared to Nakatani. He stayed in the pocket with what's his name, Hernandez, too much,
Mhm.
and I think Inoue's got the better feet than Nakatani, but Nakatani does got some good tactics on the outside and keeping his range. So it's gonna make for an interesting fight, to be honest.
Yeah,
And
maybe
not to
maybe
mention, Nakatani's southpaw and Inoue's righty. So you got that whole southpaw orthodox dynamic going on too.
correct, correct. Maybe after your fight, you might have to consider going out there to Japan.
Hey, I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that. I love Japan. It's a very nice country. I had a great time the last time, a great experience. So yeah, I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah, because they know you out there. So if you go out there to Tokyo then with the belt, I'm sure a lot of the Japanese be happy to see you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I know you're a big boxing history guy, Angelo. I
Mhm.
don't think I ever asked you this, but you know, you mentioned Prince Naseem Hamed earlier. I wanted to ask you a question. I know you're going to say yourself because you got to back yourself, right? But like prime for prime, at featherweight,
Mhm.
Angelo Leo versus Prince Naseem. What kind of? I know you're going to say yourself, but what kind of fight would that be?
You see what Marco Antonio Barrera did to him?
Yeah,
It's gonna be something similar like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Okay. Well, what
But I
about you?
like Prince though. I like them both. To be honest, you got to respect the old champions from back in the day. Prince Nassim, he's definitely a character, and Barrera, Barrera was Barrera.
Yeah, but Prince was really punching like that, though. I mean, I know you've never been dropped, you've never been stopped at anything. You're a very durable guy.
Hmm.
He fought a guy. He fought Augie Sanchez, who I'm sure you're familiar with because he's out there in Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, what did you think about that fight? And yeah, like how do you think you would have dealt with just the unorthodox style of a guy like Prince Nassim?
Mm, with Prince, I think that
Yep.
jab is key, and it showed in the Barrera fight. He controlled him with the jab.
Okay. So Angelo the boxer was showing himself more in that fight.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
likely.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What about like I don't know. You mentioned Barrera, right? How about you and
Mhm.
Barrera?
That'd be a war.
Yeah.
That'd be a straight war. Yeah, I like that fight.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which featherweight? If you can go back in time, Angelo, you say you get one featherweight to fight in history. Who is it? Who's that guy?
The best featherweight to fight.
MGM
Mm,
Grand. We're doing a main event. Okay, so it's Leo versus fill in the blank. What's the fight? What's the box office attraction?
I like Prince. Prince Naseem Ahmed. I also like Salvador Sanchez.
Yeah.
Yeah, those who else? Um I don't know any good featherweights in the 80s. Who are the featherweights of the 80s?
I mean, you got Zubio Pedroza, the guy from Panama.
Oh
He was pretty
yeah.
good.
Yeah, yeah. He was good. He was slick, right?
Yeah, slick counterpuncher.
Yep, yep. And who else?
A lot of guys. Other featherweights, I'm blanking out right now because you put me on the spot.
I think the I think they were gonna unify at one point. Him
They
and
were.
Salvador Sanchez, right?
Yeah, they were. That's like one of the great fights that never happened in boxing history. I'm actually
Yeah,
going to do a video
yeah.
about that soon. Yeah.
What's that?
I'm supposed to do a video about that soon. Salvador and Pedroza.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, I got to do
Dang,
that.
that's how you know you're a real boxing fan when you're talking about the featherweights of the 80s.
Yeah, yeah. You got to. You got to pay homage. You know. I mean, I know. Like
Yeah.
I said, I know you're a big fight fan because there's fighters like the fact that you even know who even Salvador Sanchez is. It's like a lot of fighters don't even know who that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a real boxing enthusiast as well.
Oh, I got one for you, bro. I got an interesting one for you because it ties into this past weekend. What about you at featherweight versus the featherweight Shakur Stevenson?
That'd be a good fight too. That'd be a great fight.
Yeah,
Um,
I know y'all sparred. I know
yeah,
y'all
we
sparred.
sparred. We sparred. I like that fight as well. You know what other fighter I would like to fight is Wilfredo Gomez.
Big, strong Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That would have been fireworks. You know, you would have had
I
to.
like he's actually one of my favorite fighters, Wilfredo Gomez.
Yeah, is he a fair Puerto Rican
Yeah.
fighter?
Yeah. Yeah. Hands down. Hands down. I like Wilfredo, and then probably second would be Tito. Tito Trinidad
Felix Trinidad. Yeah.
by Felix.
Okay. Okay. Well, Angelo, I don't want to hold you too long, man. I just want to get you on here right quick and just so you can respond and speak your piece, man. Because I see Ring Magazine and all these outlets they posting all these guys and they forgetting about the IBF
Mhm.
champion. So
They're overlooking the kid. They're overlooking the kid, but hey, time will tell. Time will tell, and I'm still here, and I'm still here. And you know what happens when they underestimate you. Underestimate me. You see what I did.
yeah, yeah, they don't want the kid from Albuquerque popping off because he's positive.
Yeah.
But you got any final message to the fight fans, to just everyone out there before we end the interview, Angelo?
Uh, just tune in. Just tune in. This year is gonna be a great year for me. I'm gonna show the world what kind of fighter I am, and everybody that's doubted me, I'm gonna show them as well.
Say no more. Angelo Leo, the IBF featherweight champion. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, BT.
All right. There we go.